Good morning. Today is the celebration of Kathina Day. How many of you never heard the word of Kathina? Kathina is the day celebrated for the monastic who finished the rain retreat of 3 months. After the 3 months, they are free to do something connected to the society. So every year that the Buddha require his disciple to have a rain retreat. So that retreat is very important in India because of Southeast Asia, mostly in these 3 months is a lot of rain, heavy water flooding or anything that a lot of this living life, or because of the rain they come out. So if the monk travel in that time, they have lots of condition is not good for traveling. So just it's very difficult on the way, and a lot of animal will come out, easy to step to the life and then kill life. So in another reason is after 9 months very heavy serving the community or traveling, monk need to stay for his own practice, or right now we call that recharging the battery of your mental state. Do some research, very focusing, teaching the student, follow up what you train, all the skill learning. So some professional teaching, some come to learning, some come to practicing, but the important one is back to the community of the Sangha member or monastic member. So as a monk that in a year, without 3 months of retreat, you will, according to the Vinaya, you are out of the monk life, or you will have a little bit this and that confession in order you overcome this myths of the behavior in monk life. If you have other reason, can be excused, it's not in this condition. But mostly monk will follow this tradition. Even those the teaching come to the northern, to China, Korea, Japan, if that is a straightforward monastic life, they still have the retreat. But they turn the summer retreat into winter retreat. Like us, we don't have summer retreat, and we have winter retreat. Nothing as uprighting as generosity and sharing. This is the one important message for become a monastic life. They need to base on this generosity and sharing. So what we already generous is we give the life to the community. So, we don't have our privacy. We don't have our son and daughter by you own bloodline, but we have our son and daughter by choosing. You see, so the Buddha very smart. He don't have his own baby, but he chose the good one to take over this responsibility. So the whole monastic life is we choose someone that qualified, good in the basic, good in the training, and very happy in this kind of training in order to carry on this message to benefit to the society. Right now, this message already been agreed with the society. So if your company need to slowly, getting bigger and bigger, and the business need to be very tough, you will choosing someone become CEO. The CEO should not be your son or your daughter. Your son or daughter can be the board, but cannot become the manager. Is it reasonable? Yeah, so the Buddha himself is very smart. He choosing someone really like this working and like this kind of training and go for the sharing. So after the 3 months retreat, that is what they're saying here. The monk will accept the robes or clothes in order they can get free to travel, to visit family. This family is bigger than the families that you come from your home. I say family means the connection of yourself to your lay family, to friend, or to the different temple or monastery. You can travel free. So with going to visit family free, with traveling to the world, keep teaching or keep exploring, learning in free, and of course, so the day of Kathina, means you break the retreat. You can open up yourself free to travel. So have a group meal. It's very important. Yeah. In the old days, the Buddha time, not easy to get good food like today, especially in this country. Every day is like the king party. So we have good food easy. So food already not the main idea that we want to talk about. But with group meal is very important. Community have his own services and then have his own style of living and discipline. So I will talk a little bit about group meal. Traditionally, unless you are very strict of your own family, have some role or discipline. Otherwise, we eat our meal without any, guideline. So you will grow up in little bit rough. But in the monastic training means every meal need to have the refreshing. We have a short chanting, like the Christian, they pray before they eat. This is a very important stuff. So meal is only more happiness and desire pop up in your mind when you're facing the food. Otherwise, the monk life will be more simple. So in a group meal means everyone can observe himself and observe other when you get a good food. You see, normally when people, if he is very hungry and then have good food in front of him, that we can see our mind is not a gender mind. You know, sometimes it's become a little bit this and that, more than a human mind who eat the food. Okay. So this is challenging of us to, in a community life, always need to see properly this. The Kathina offering, donor and the donate get the share with 5 elements. The first one is life. The second one is beauty. The third one is happy. The fourth is strength. Last one is wisdom. This is what in the sutra saying. When the donor bring offering to the monk, while life, happy, beauty, strength, and wisdom will be benefit to both sides. You will see monk life, he will, from the wholesome perspective, because you audience, you give up the life in the societies that make family. So you are wholesome. Why wholesome? Because you're choosing more spiritual to go. More life that upgraded your quality into higher standard to move forward. So that moving is moving the direction into detachment, or finally make yourself free from all the defilements. So that wholesome perspective will usually in the lay life not moving to this direction. Maybe 0.5% of 100 will go this direction, especially in today's life. Even though in Asia, it's not many of them choosing into monastic life anymore, because life pattern have a larger condition, make it change into different direction. So monastic life is wholesome perspective into straightforward, means his occupation, his living, and his service and sharing, and all the what quality need to be built up is in a package, straightforward to liberation. He don't have other comments and other worry and fear. He keep up everything, move to this direction. I call this straightforward tendency. The third one is always need to check himself and reflection, observing his own mind and body in order always from the wrong step we pull it back to the path. I call this right perspective, right and wrong, right perspective. If the right perspective come to complete, fulfill, that is called noble right foot path. So right perspective is the monk life can make himself to fulfill this noble training. And of course, from this life, from this beauty, from this own liberated happiness, then the string will carry on from his mind and body, because mind and body in the training perspective, in the observing perspective, in the serving and sharing perspective, make them more purified. So the purification of the life itself have built up the string, what the Buddha said, fulfilling the Eight Noble Fourth Path, and then will be complete the four foundation of mindfulness training, build up the string, and very wise, because the experience is touching to the truth. And all his mind and body is witnessing the truth. So his life will be more smart and can share this information, and the generosity will become all walk of his life after he come to this training. So in Kathina Day, usually after 3 months of intensive practice in the old day, a lot of improvement of the monastic life. At least from the learning, from the observing, or from the meditation training, will bring them more higher experience, more wider, open up themselves, to the service. So I may say 2 words after the rain retreat, the monastic life can carry more weight and move forward. Like we train ourselves in the master degree and in the doctor degree, you can see the difference. Once you go up highest in the professional skill training, then you may have more strength, you have more happiness, because you open up yourself into more profound meaning. Then more wise to make decision, to determine doing something in the right. So your ability become more strong. That's it, of course. Everyone needs this. So if you cannot follow up the timing, generation to generation, they already become changing. You're still at the back of this society changing, then you will be very difficult to make living. Once I want to say this, it will bring me back to say something, in this society, when our president come to China, just for a very short time. How many days? President Trump to China? 12 days of the Asian travel. I think only 3 days in China, isn't it? Yeah. I think he will see something, and I see it my own self too when I fly to Beijing and then dropped there. In 1995, when I was in Beijing, I just see that, but right now the facility in China all upgraded. Not only the facility in China upgraded, and the quality of life right now they have planning to upgrade it. 15 years later become what kind of require. 15 years later become of what kind of require. They are move forward like that. With what? With teamwork. So when I see teamwork big as like China, they want to have teamwork, I feel very happy because monk life is concerning and depending on teamwork. If someone he will say he is a monk and without knowing what is the teamwork means, it not become power. And Sangha means team. At least 4 people need to come together and work together, study together, and reflection and repenting together. All need to have done in the teamwork in order you are not narrow yourself, not hide in any darkness, in order to open up yourself, move forward. So this ability to become power is because of you like teamwork. So here is something, after the teamwork, then the monastic sometimes need to go alone. The Buddha said, you need to go alone like a buffalo. Work hard for the benefit of others. After you receive the offering. So that is why the Kathina is very important. We said that both benefit to yourself in the Sangha monastic and benefit to the lay. Because after you receive the offering, then you travel alone to keep teaching, keep touching to the family, to the society, to other monastery in order to bring your benefit and benefit to them, sharing to them your generosity. Is it make sense to you all? Yeah, this society, we always need someone to give them a guide, give them a sharing, give a good example for them, like that. So after the traveling so many years, I feel it, the society is not easy to remain some tradition from time to time. They were easy to get lost. One I want to say is like this. In 1995, when I come to this country, a lot of Asian Buddhists support my way of life and support us to build a monastery, do the work here in this country. But when I observe them, most of their children and grandchildren is not follow up as a Buddhist, as a discipline in the Buddhist way, because they are busy in their job, they're busy to earn money, and some of them is not concerned about their children become more good quality in the Buddhist style. So their children is not follow up in this path. And for many years already passed, some of them already in the retire unit, some of them already in the nursing home, some of them already going alone because this society, the children grew up and they're gone. They're not with the family anymore. So I can see this one is challenging in the new society. A very challenging in us right now back to Asia, because life become aging, become long life, and the society changing a lot. I think the monastic life still become very important because they will alert the society. They will give back to the society and tell them what kind of training you need to cover in order you become more sharpening minded, you have wisdom, you have strength, you have happiness, you have all this beauty. Inner beauty is more than exterior beauty. You like spiritual life is more than you like the material life. Otherwise, it's not much strength can make this life strength. So when I go to China right now, they are rich. They are not give me like this money. They give me this. Yeah. They have money right now, but they just become more hunger. They become more boring and don't know what is the meaning of the profound life when they're heading to the future. So when they listen to some of my talk about something you can work for your mental state, something you can work for your intention, something you can pull back to the memory and check this memory, it makes sense to them. So monks still need to carry for his message to the world. And I hope that we are here, everyone still knows something, and not much you need to do, but when you grow up with children, daily discipline need to always follow up. Otherwise, they not turn into the behavior. They are not turned into habitual pattern. Then you will have no children to carry your spirit. The children grow, they will go away. Yeah. So the monk not have his own children, they choose someone. This is the different story for what I want to say. Thank you for joining the Kathina Day. And may this Kathina Day will bring everyone a fresh understanding in Buddhism. And thank you for everyone sharing your gift to the monastic.